Are we rolling? This lighting is probably terrifying. I hope it looks okay. It's mega golden hour. The sun is literally blazing on my face. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on when you're watching this video. I was on Ellen today.
It's pretty impressive the way this back foot comes up like that.
Oh, wow. That was a high kick.
So that was cool. But I asked for your questions on Instagram a couple days ago, and I thought I would take the time to answer some of them right now. Let's just jump into it, shall we? Glasses on, and we're ready to begin. We're gonna start today's video the way I like to start every day, with breakfast. My friend Veronica asked, what do you eat for breakfast? Well, Veronica, I like to start every day with either cereal with fruit, overnight oats if I decide to treat myself, or avocado toast. I like to make my avocado toast with a little drizzle of honey and some everything with the bagel seasoning. It is just delectable. It's the best thing I've ever had, and it's so good every time. Yeah, and I also always drink coffee in the morning, and I can't live without it. My next question comes from _Jordan_Con_, and she asked, what is the best advice you have for newer champs? Well, Jordan, I would say the best advice I would give to somebody just getting into championship would be to never limit yourself in terms of your goals. So when I was really young, just getting into championship, I set really high goals for myself, which I ultimately achieved. And I don't think there's anything with setting goals that you think are outside of your limits, because you're capable of so much more than you think. If you set those goals beyond what you think you're capable of, and then you achieve them, it gives you more of a sense of satisfaction when you actually do achieve them. So I think that's really important, is to not limit yourself to what you think you can achieve, because you're capable of so much more than that. So our next two questions come from Neve Oglesby and Avery Doyle. And they asked, what's your favorite thing about Ireland, and how is life different in Ireland than in the US? I would say my favorite thing about Ireland right now, especially as it's getting colder, and this is like a weirdly specific thing that I'm just obsessed with about Ireland, is the smell of peat. And for anybody who hasn't been to Ireland, peat is like something that they use over here. It's like earth that they use to they burn for heat. I hope that's what peat actually is. I'll look up a definition of peat and put it up here. But there's something about the smell of it that just makes me feel at home, and I just am obsessed with it. I can smell it now. To answer your question, Avery, life in Ireland, the biggest thing I think is the use of public transportation, at least in Dublin. At home in Philly, I would never take the bus, not for any reason, just because it wasn't a very convenient way to get around. But public transportation over here is a lot more convenient. There's bus stops everywhere. I take the bus to get everywhere. And also, a lot more people bike over here. There's bike lanes on all the roads. I actually bought a bike when I came over here so I could bike to and from dance class. So I think just the way people get around is a lot different. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And also the fact that my dance schools over here is big. Thank you for those questions. Now, let's see. My friend Meg asked me, who would you choose, Phoebe Bridgers or Phoebe Waller-Bridge? Meg, you know me too well. See, these two women are icons, idols of mine. I'm obsessed with them, obsessed with both of them, with everything they do. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, if you haven't seen the show Fleabag, definitely check it out. It's the best piece of television I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love your hat. It's a hairscarf. Looks like a hat. Well, it's a hairscarf.
And Phoebe Bridgers makes the best music ever. Oh my gosh. I would say, I don't know how I'm gonna pick. Can I choose Phoebe Waller-Bridgers? Is that an acceptable option? Because that's my choice. Next question comes from Vero_Navarine. Hope I'm saying that right. She said, if you weren't a dancer, what do you think you would be? That's a good question, and that's something that I've asked myself a lot over the years. I think my life path would be totally different if I wasn't an Irish dancer, because Irish dancing has dictated so many decisions that I've made over the course of my life that I think if I didn't have Irish dancing as part of the story of my life, I think I would have made decisions about a lot of things differently. So I think everything would have been different. So I can't even say what I would be. In a parallel universe, though, I did an Irish dance, and I wonder what that life is like. Walt375 asked, what was your worst and best performance on stage? And I got another question that asks, what's one of my favorite dance memories? My best performance and my favorite dance memory are the same. It was at the All Irelands in 2018. And the reason that that's my favorite dance memory is because it was the first time in a long time that I stepped on stage and felt totally free. There had been a couple competitions leading up to that where, you know, I went on stage and I had so many thoughts going on in my head that I felt like my performance wasn't the best because of everything that was going on just like in my life. But that competition, that All Irelands, was the first time in a long time that I felt like I really could just dance, you know, without anything holding me down. And that was really special. My worst performance was when I was in grades. This is like the most embarrassing thing ever. I remember I was at a competition, I was at a fesh in DC, and somehow I did my jig to my hornpipe and my hornpipe to my jig, or like something like that. Like I danced my dances to the wrong music, and it was just very embarrassing and I cried for a long time afterwards. That was definitely my worst performance, for sure. Okay, so our next question comes from Hanny Bandani 35, and she asked, what do you miss about the USA? Two things that I really miss about the USA are actually three things. Number one, pumpkin spice everything. Pumpkin spice is not as prominent a flavor. In Ireland, I will say I got an amazing pumpkin spice latte at this little coffee truck the other day, but besides that, it's not, you know, we don't have like pumpkin spice cereal or pumpkin spiced Oreos over here, you know, which I kind of miss. I kind of love like that. Call me basic. And then two other things that I really miss are Dunkin' Donuts. Love Dunkin' Donuts just so much. And Wawa. For those of you who don't know what Wawa is, it's like a gas station, but so much more. Oh my gosh, it's just the best. They have everything. It's so much, it's like a gas station and then a deli rolled up into one, but it's just so much better than like I could ever express. Like, can't even explain to you. So that's what I miss. And also like it's fall at home and I love the fall colors and I'm kind of missing that. Lucia Senkova asked, have you ever wanted to stop dancing and how do you keep motivated? There was one time when I seriously considered stopping, and that was when I first came to Ireland to start dancing for Holly and Kavanagh. And I think the reason that I wanted to stop is because new things tend to scare me a lot. Doing anything new, and I've always been that way since I was really young. My mom can attest to that. Starting something new can be really difficult, and you know, my mom would always tell me like, you just have to give it a chance, you just have to stick it out, and you'll end up thanking me. And I always end up thanking her. She's literally always right about that. And it was the case with dancing for Holly and Kavanagh as well. I came to her and I said, you know, I don't know if I want to do this. And she said, I think you should give it a chance. And my brother told me the same thing. You know, he said, he was really the reason I came over here and started dancing with them because he was having such an amazing experience over here and he wanted me to have that same experience. So I kind of did it for him and for my mom. You know, I stuck it out and I ended up loving Irish dancing so much more than I ever had loved it before. So I'm so thankful to them for being those like voices in the back of my mind, like telling me to stick it out. Okay, Eva Newkirk asked, why did you write your songs? What do they mean to you? That's a good question. I'm gonna take this to mean like, why do I write songs in general? It's funny because for some people they have journals, and I have a journal as well that I write in. But for me, where I really let out everything that's on my mind is in my voice memos app on my phone. If anybody ever goes through my voice memos and like listens to them, like, oh no. It's literally my diary. Like it is me like bearing my soul. So I write songs because for me, writing music is a release, an emotional release, it's a physical release, and it's really important to have an outlet like that, especially over quarantine. Like, yeah, so I wrote more songs than I ever had over quarantine, and they really helped me synthesize what's going on internally. They helped me get it out into a physical sense. Yeah, so they mean a lot to me. They mean everything to me. I mean, my EP, those were songs I had been working on for, some of them for up to a year. So those songs had been with me for a long time, so it was a really rewarding experience to actually record them and produce them and put them out for people to listen to. And you can stream my EP. It's linked in the bio below. Hope you give it a listen and love it. All right, and just as the sun is setting, here we are with our last question from my friend Michael. And he asked what my favorite Gex song is. Let me tell you, I have a love affair with 100 Gex. One time, Dylan Brady responded to my Instagram story, and I literally screamed. Also, I made a TikTok of me dancing to a 100 Gex song, and it somehow made it to the 100 Gex side of TikTok, which I was dying. That was like my ultimate life dream. I will say, so my friend Jamie, who plays the piano on tour, actually introduced me to 100 Gex, and I was in the gym. This was back in December. I was in the gym working out, and I put their album on. I literally, Money Machine started playing, right? Which is like the best song in the entire world ever. So that song started playing, and I literally lost my mind. Like, I had to stop what I was doing because I was laughing so hard, not because it was bad, but because of how good it was. And then I proceeded to send it to literally every single one of my friends because, oh my gosh, it's just so good. So that's probably my favorite Gex song. That's definitely probably my favorite Gex song, I will say. Just like that, computer closed, sun sets, glasses off. That brings us to the end of our video. Thank you guys so much for submitting questions. We'll do this again sometime very soon. Make sure to give this video a big old thumbs up. Comment your favorite type of tree down below. And share this video with a friend. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. And I love you guys so much. And I will see you all next time. Love you. Bye.